Have you ever had issues exporting your stems from Ableton? Let me show you how to do it the proper way. Alright friends, welcome to this short and brief tutorial on how to export your stems from Ableton. And either you're here because you've chosen to buy one of my mixing or mastering products online on TMPSTmusic.com, or you're just here because you generally want the information and knowledge on how to do this. Either way, welcome. So just briefly to tell you a bit about me, who I am and what I do. My name is Tempest and I'm a progressive house music producer from Sweden. And I help people mix and master their songs and also ghost produce in some occasions. But let's not talk anymore about that, let's jump into the DAW and look at how to export our stems in the correct way. Okay, so we're now in Ableton and we have this project file that we want to export. And this is a project that we did last week on this channel as a live tutorial on how to produce progressive house. So if you want to check that one, check my link in the description. And the first thing we need to do is to make sure that none of the tracks that we want to export are muted, and we also want to take away effects that we don't want to be printed into the file. So for example, if I'm going to mix your files, I don't want you to have a bunch of compressors and EQs on already, because that limits what I can actually do. So we want to go through each and every stem here and check all of these things and what we want to take away so that it's good and ready for mixing. So let's begin by doing that. And on some of these, of course, it might be artistic choices when it comes to certain EQing and certain effects, like on the synth. We have the dizziness filter, and this one we might want to keep because it's an effect that we want to have. It's not a mixing thing, it's more of a production thing. Then of course, keep it on. But when it comes to compressors and side chaining and stuff like that, take it away. It's going to be more complicated in the mastering and mixing if it's in here when we export the stems. So on this track, for example, I'll leave the first EQ because this is for me an artistic choice in cutting away all of these frequencies. I don't want them to be there, and then it makes no sense for me to not have this EQ active when exporting the stems. And same on this one, I'll leave the utility because the only thing we've done here is to automate a bit on the gain in certain parts, and that we might as well leave. Okay, so step one is done. We have made sure that all of the items that we want to export are on, nothing is muted, and we've closed down all of the plugins and effects that we don't want exported. The next step will be to actually just on one of the tracks here, take the entire length of what we want to export. So I know that my track ends at 107. That is the final point of everything happening. And it starts at 3. So we have marked now how long we want the system to export. From here, we go up to the menu and we go to File and down to, to Export Audio Video. So here we have a couple of settings that we need to do. The first one that is very important is that on render track, it needs to say all individual tracks. You do not want it saying master. We want all the tracks going out. Secondly, we want to make sure that normalize is off. Do not have that on. Sample rate, you can keep that at 44.1 kHz. That is fine. Then we also want it to encode the PCM as a WAV file and 24-bit depth, and keep the dithering off. And you don't need to export MP3, so keep that off as well. So that is it. We can then press export. And now we're taken to just the saving. And here I would advise you to start with creating a new folder that you name of the song. So mine is just right now called Livestream. So we got the folder where we want the stuff to end up. And when it comes to how to name each individual stem, I recommend you to just do an underscore. because what that will do is that instead of each and every stem having the full name of the song and then something else like livestream _kick _1, now it will only do an underscore and then the name of the stem. So it's going to be much easier to then import the stuff back into Ableton in the mixing file. So that is it, and then we just press save and it will start to render all the audio, which will take some time. Cool, so it's done, quick and nice. We can just go out now to our main and look in the folder. So we got the live stream folder that we created. And here we have all of our stems. So we are ready for the mixing part. If you've chosen to buy one of the mixing parts from me, then these are the stems that I will ask of you to send to me when we start discussing the feeling and the vibe, and also to start planning when this is to be completed. So my friends, that is it. It's not more difficult than that. If you like what I do and want me to produce more content like this, please, of course, as you know, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It always helps the algorithm to understand that we're actually relevant. And if you really like what I do, then I would highly, highly, highly appreciate if you go and support me on Patreon. There, you will not only get all of the stuff that I put on social media and on YouTube, I'll do exclusive content to only the people that support me on Patreon, and I will also do live DJ gigs twice each month that only stream to the people on Patreon. So, I would love to see you there. I hope to see you soon again.